For 6 years I've been employed by Lockheed Martin, and for the past 2 years I've been a project planner. Well, on July 23rd this summer I was told that my position was being eliminated and that I would be laid off. As a single mom, I have a mortgage payment, car payment, student loan, and lots of other bills. Frankly, I was in shock and numb for the first 24 hours, and then panic set in. And I'm fully aware of the job market out there. I have several friends and neighbors who have lost their jobs since late last year, and some of them are now being evicted from their homes. Well, my project planner mentality kicked into gear, actually into overdrive, and I was frantically networking, trying to drum up some sort of new job. I began to lose a lot of sleep, and I was worrying. During my last 2 weeks on the job, God was speaking into the situation, but I didn't quite hear Him. The first message I got was when Pastor Holly was sharing her story on the first Sunday they were here, and she said, if you're still struggling with something, then maybe you haven't let God win yet. I was teaching a lesson that night on God as our refuge and source, our strength, and we went to Exodus chapter 4, and the ladies were taking turns reading scriptures, and I could hear Deb reading Exodus 4 out of this ear, and it seemed like God was talking into this ear. And He was telling me, Judy, you just read here where I provided Aaron to be Moses' spokesman. That's what he needed. I provided the rod to Moses. He needed a tool to show my power. I told him who to go speak to, what to say, and when to say it. I told him what Pharaoh was going to do, and I told him what I would do in response to Pharaoh's actions. Judy, I have your future mapped out for you. I already know the plans I have for you. I'm going to send you to who I want you to talk to. I'm going to tell you what to say. I'm going to open the doors I want you to go through, and I'm going to close the doors that I don't want you to go through. It's already mapped out for you. But you're in the way. I'm going to sit here, and I saw this visual. God said, I'm going to sit here with my hands in my lap, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to move on your behalf until you get out of my way and let me take charge of your future. I finally heard Him. It finally made sense. Like, okay, all right, I quit. I give up. I'm done. You're in charge. And I backed off. And you know, that night, for the first time, I slept through the whole night. 3 days later, after church, Cindy Monson stopped me and said, I heard you're looking for a job. She told me about the insurance company she had just gone to work with. And she forwarded my resume to the manager. I spoke with him the next day, went to see him the following day, signed on that afternoon, and as we were talking, we realized this was a God thing. And within a couple of days, I was studying for my state exams. A few days later, I passed the exams and got my state license. And a couple days later, I started my new career as an insurance agent. And my severance check hasn't even run out yet. And what's even cooler than that is how God really does things so much better. He's a much better project planner than I am. He sees the bigger picture and not just the immediate crisis. You know, right before my layoff, God opened the door for us to transfer my daughter to a new school just down the block from our home. Now she no longer has to commute 20 miles each way to school, which is a half an hour on the road, and I no longer have to pay private tuition. Because I get to work out of my own home, I'm able to be there for her, to walk to and from school and to help her with her homework, and she doesn't have to spend all that extra time in daycare. You know, this answer, Wish has been praying for this for months, since February, and I had no idea that this answer with her school would coincide with my losing or finding a new career. God's awesome. You know, when He guides, He provides, and it's so much better than this project planner could ever dream of. So what I've learned, I guess, is you just got to stay out of His way, sit back and watch what He does, and just see the awesome things that He brings about.